on another episode of Dear Siddiqi. This is my gift to you. Siddiqi means the friend that tells the truth, and I am here to tell you the truth from my own intuitive place of channeling information. And I'm here as a gift to you, hoping that you will understand that sometimes the words come out how they come out, and that this is for your benefit. Now, if you're watching this, please subscribe to the channel that you are watching it on. If you are on YouTube, please subscribe. We would love to have you as a regular person watching this show. We do this twice a week, and I take user questions. So it's, oh, you can't see it in the white, can you? There it is. It's Dear Siddiqi, that's SIDDIQI at gmail.com. Would love to hear your questions. Have been sorting through a bunch of really great questions. I'm going to answer 2 of them today. Please feel free to write in the comment section. If you're watching this live, I can see the chat. I can see the comments, and I can answer your questions real time. So if you have a question for me and I have time, I will answer that at the end here. So good to be here. So let me just start with like an overall message that may be helpful for some of you. And if I'm looking down, it's because I'm reading the notes that I brought through right before this. I sat in meditation and asked if there are any messages for all of us. And the first message that came through, my friends, is that sometimes you have to be pulled back in order to go forward. And what I mean by that is that we are still in the early days of 2023, and we are still in this pattern of really reviewing what has happened, especially over the last couple of years, and making decisions based on how we don't want it to be, which is fine. But the reality is how you do want it to be is so much more important for you to focus on than how you don't want it to be. So try to stay conscious and don't numb out and don't go to sleep at the helm, because this right now is a very important time to be making decisions. Now, if you're here, I want to welcome you as your friend. Siddiqi means the friend that tells the truth. My lawyers say that I always have to remind you that this show is for education and entertainment purposes only, and that you should always consult professionals with your questions if you are ever in doubt. So there, I said it, hashtag you are welcome. Okay, let me just go back to this. So there is this success versus failure mindset happening right now. Ditch it, just let it go. Success versus failure is not going to get you where you want to go. Instead, if you can approach everything that's happening in your environment with curiosity and say to yourself, what can I learn from this? Even if it's not a great situation. So for instance, I've had COVID 4 times. Yes, I've been immunized, not even going there. But I ask myself when I'm in bed, sick, totally tired, what can I learn from this experience? And is there a way to avoid the challenges of this situation and really learn from the successes? So for instance, the first couple of times I got really sick, I had this huge amount of dread. Oh God, here we go again. What did I do to get it? Why me? And I've now learned to just take a beat, calm down, see it as the universe forcing me to slow down and to stop so that I can listen. And wouldn't you know that this whole show idea for Dear Siddiqi came out of me sitting in bed, laying in bed day after day, feeling sick, feeling like, is this all there is to life? And then saying, okay, what am I really here for? What am I on the planet for? How do I want to experience this? And for me, it's really important to feel like I am being of service with my gifts. Hence, I am bringing this show to you twice a week. So if you have questions, please write them to DearSiddiqi.com. If you have friends, you did not land here by accident today. If you have friends that you think would benefit from this, please pass it on to them, forward it to them. The best place to go and watch this is YouTube at Siddiqi Ray. And you can see all the episodes there. and we title them by the questions that I am answering on any given day. Cool. So again, if you're here in the chat, please feel free to let me know what your questions are or your comments. I'm so happy that you're here participating in this live. It really helps me to tune in more when I see that there's live people watching. So, we are in the beginning of the year. This is the time of year that everybody's making these kind of like overly saccharine or stevia sweet promises to themselves. And the first question that we have is really apropos to the beginning of the year. So it's, Dear Siddiqi, it's the beginning of the new year, and I want to make the most of this time in my life to get ahead. Yay! In the past, I've written extensive lists, mapped out plans, but then nothing ever happened. After the new year, I too often lose my clarity, my focus, and then the momentum. I feel like I must be missing something. How do I set goals and actually achieve them in the new year? And that is from Lola in Nevada. What a great question. So, how do I set goals and achieve them? I love this because this is what we do this time of year, right? We do the vision board, we set the goals, we make the list, we say, this is what success looks like. If I could do this, this, and this, if I could lose 20 pounds, if I could make multiple six figures, if I could quit my job and go start another job, I would be happier if. So goals, let's substitute the word goal for intention. And let's follow that intention with a commitment. And let's give ourselves permission to reevaluate the commitments that we make as we go. So for instance, if you start a diet and you realize 3 weeks in, I think statistically by the end of January, people have already fallen off all their goals, especially the weight loss goal. If you decide that the path or the journey that you have committed to, that you have set as a goal, as a destination, if you are on that path, on that journey, and you all of a sudden realize, I can't do this. I can't starve myself every day and be hungry all the time. It's very distracting. Then you get to reevaluate, is this actually what I want to achieve? Now, when you set an intention for how you want to feel at the end, what is the experience that I want to be having as a result of these goals? Then, dear Lola, you can make a commitment to the feeling that you want to feel. So for instance, don't focus on losing weight. I'm just pulling that out of the ethers and using that as an example. Don't focus on losing weight. Focus on how you want to feel in your body. I want to feel good. I want to feel alive. I want to feel energetic. I want to feel that youthful feeling of strength. So you're focusing on the feeling. Now we're getting into the law. But as your friend, I'm just trying to help you out because goals are great, but intentions are where the gold is. So goals are great. Intention and commitment to what you want to experience is more important than some thing that you write on your calendar or in your pretty planner that you just bought and you cracked it open and you're like, this year, everything's going to change. Well, is it really? No, you are the thing that has to change. You have to make different changes in your commitment to what you want to be experiencing. So Lola, I hope that makes sense. If you're watching live and you have any questions about this, please, please, please let me know. I love your questions. How does that relate to you? Did you set goals? What have you done in the past to achieve them? What has been effective? This is, of course, just my intuition coming through, helping you see things from a different perspective. Overall, goals and goal setting for the majority of us, especially if you are a more experiential, empathetic person who's super sensitive. How many of you out there have been told you need a thicker skin, you're too sensitive? If you're that kind of person, I'm going to say intuitively that goal setting sets you up to fail, sets you up for disappointment, sets you up to feel like you're not disappointed disciplined. You're not enough. You're not good enough. And then on the flip side of that, you beat yourself up and you say, I should try harder. I should do more. Well, really? Really? Because you know what? It's been hard the past couple of years. So any traction that you've gotten, any forward movement that you've gotten is exponentially more than you give yourself credit for, because you've had this big pull, like a slingshot pulling you back. Remember at the beginning, I said, you're going to have to really evaluate. What did I say? I wrote it down. Sometimes you have to be pulled backwards in order to go forward, was the beginning message. And that's like a slingshot. Starting in 2020, it felt like we were being pulled back in consciousness. We were being pulled back in our lives, in our careers, in our relationships. Everything felt exponentially harder than it had ever been. And we were like, really? And it created a lot of tension, a lot of tension. And so when you're in that place of tension, is that the time to set goals? No, it's the time to go for the gold. Go for the gold with your intentions, commit to the experience you want to have, Lola, and you will be having a fantastic start to your year. And that is how you set goals and achieve them. You don't actually set goals, you set intentions. How you achieve them is you stay committed. Boom, there it is. You are welcome. Okay, let me read the next one. So it is, hold on, let me just see. Are there any comments? Are there any chats out there in the world? No. Okay, I'm going to keep moving. Oh, hold on. This is a big one. You know what? I'm looking at this and I feel like I've already seen it. So hold on. I'm going to pull up a different question because I know that I've seen that question before. So, okay, how do I deal with anxiety and stress, especially in my job? So that's it. That's the question. Dear Siddiqi, how do I deal with anxiety and stress in my job? Well, and that's anonymous. So that's all I got. But I will give you the transmission more than the answer of how you deal with stress and anxiety. I'm just getting that this is about your job, that this is about your job, this is about your career, this is about the setting of it, the people of it. I'm getting that the stress and anxiety comes as a result of you not speaking your truth, or you not feeling heard. You feeling like you keep raising your hand, giving suggestions, and you're not being heard. And so it's stressing you out and it's causing you a lot of anxiety. Maybe that's also true in your relationships. Maybe your kids, maybe they don't listen to you. Maybe your partner isn't listening to you. Maybe you're not feeling heard. But it doesn't really matter what the source of the anxiety and the stress is. It's just that you are at the effect of it. So here's the thing. You don't have to combat or fight anxiety and stress. And anxiety and stress are your clue. It's the red flag being dropped on the field. It's the alarm going off in your head. Oh, I'm feeling anxiety. The first thing that you can do is, where do I feel this in my body? Really get present with it. Most of the time, the anxiety and the stress is projected into the future. For instance, I have a client who is in the middle of a gnarly divorce with her husband. There's a lot of anxiety and stress about the money, the kids, the house, what's going to happen with this, what's going to happen with that. And then on top of it, she projects into the future. What does it mean? It means I'm going to be alone. It means that I'm fundamentally broken. It means that I'm incapable of being in a healthy relationship. It means that this person is going to abandon me and take advantage of me. And so there's a lot of meaning that causes the anxiety and stress. And so what do I know works? Slow down. Slow down and start noticing when you are projecting your current feelings in the moment, the anxiety, the stress, the tension in your body, when you're projecting it into the future and making it mean something. So for instance, for this client, it's, oh, this is my third time around. I'm getting a divorce. It means that I'm not capable of being in relationships. It means that I'm going to be alone. you can hear, you can feel, I can feel it in my chest, the anxiety that comes as a result of having those beliefs. So, my friends, anxiety and stress is your indicator to do really deep self care. And now I'm hearing intuitively, well, how is self care going to help anything? It might not help the environment. It might not help the situations, the circumstances, the people that you are dealing with on a daily basis. It might not help any of that, but what it will help is it will help you feel better. It will help you be more resourceful and meet these challenges, these circumstances in your life from a place of being true to yourself. As I was digging through the questions that I was going to answer today, someone was asking about the meaning of life. And the meaning is what you make it. The stress and anxiety are your physiological nervous system response to a perceived threat. No matter how adversarial the work situation is, no matter how challenging it is with your partner, your kids, your friends, your family, whatever, the anxiety and the stress is always a big time out, stop, pause, restraint of pen and tongue. Do not cause yourself or others more anxiety. Contain the leakage and the anxiety, because the anxiety is like when you hit your thumb just throbs like wah, wah, wah. That's anxiety and stress. And animals can smell it. They can feel it coming. You can feel it coming. When you walk into a room and there's people that are in anxiety and stress, it's like you can smell it, right? I know I can. Maybe that's just my spidey senses. How do I deal with anxiety and stress? You stop, you slow down, you remove yourself from the person, place, thing, situation, and you get with yourself, and you don't escape it with food. Don't escape it with whatever you do, your go-to numbing. You go into it and you sit with it and you identify where it's coming from. Where in your body does that anxiety live? And then breathe into it. I know that sounds really simple, but if you can, in the moment that you notice that you are feeling stressed, that you notice that you are at the effect of anxiety, if you can slow down and stop and pause, take a beat, take a breath, observe where you're experiencing it, that practice of mindfulness can actually help you get in tune with that deeper knowing that is wanting to express itself. Sometimes you have to take the edge off. Good orgasm, a really good workout, screaming and pounding on pillows, getting the energy out of your body is also helpful. Sorry, I'm very irreverent because, I'm not all prim and proper, even though I may look it. So that is my answer to that. How do I deal with stress and anxiety? I hope this was helpful. If you have a question of your own, I'm happy to take a look at it, tune into my intuition, my guidance, and answer it. If you want to remain anonymous, no problem. Totally understand. Write to DearSiddiqi, that's SIDDIQI @gmail.com. I answer a question every episode, sometimes 2 questions. I would love to answer yours. And remember that wherever you're seeing this, you're meant to see it, or you know someone that this is the answer for and you are meant to pass it on. So please do that. Please subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching it on LinkedIn, let's connect. If you're watching it on Facebook, let's be friends. Or follow me on my public figure page and you will be able to see all the episodes in one place. I'm so grateful you're here. You're doing better than you know. You're better off than you give yourself credit for. And I love you so much. Thank you for joining me and have a fantastic day. Until